Greetings, fellow gardeners and soil stewards. Welcome back to the Humus Heritage, where we dig deep into the secrets that make plants absolutely thrive. I'm thrilled you've joined me today for what might be the most revealing experiment we've ever conducted in our quest for extreme garden vitality. What if I told you the secret to explosive plant growth isn't a fancy fertilizer, but something you might be throwing away? We're putting two garden titans, cardboard mulch and compost tea, head-to-head in an ultimate growth challenge. Will humble cardboard truly outperform nutrient-rich tea for the most vibrant garden you've ever seen? The results might completely change how you approach your garden this season. In our pursuit of extreme garden vitality, we've designed the ultimate organic growth experiment that pits two beloved methods against each other in controlled conditions. Our test garden features 6 identical raised beds, each measuring 4 feet by 8 feet, filled with the same baseline soil mixture. We've planted identical varieties across all beds, including determinate tomatoes, bush beans, lettuce, and basil, making sure that any differences in performance can be attributed solely to our chosen methods, rather than plant genetics or environmental variables. Our scientific approach includes, precise measurements of plant height, leaf count, stem diameter, and overall biomass production, all recorded weekly over an 8-week growing period. We've established control beds that receive only standard watering cardboard mulch beds, compost tea beds, and combination beds, so we can truly understand how these methods perform both individually and synergistically. Temperature and moisture monitoring devices help ensure consistent environmental conditions across all test areas, while photographic documentation captures the visual story of plant development that numbers alone just can't tell. The timeline spans from early spring planting all the way through peak summer growth, allowing us to observe how each method performs during those critical establishment phases and sustained growth periods. This comprehensive approach, honestly, gives us confidence that our results reflect real-world gardening conditions, not just laboratory curiosities. Cardboard mulch emerges as the methodical, long-term strategist in our garden arena. This humble material, typically destined for recycling bins, transforms into a powerful soil-building tool that operates through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. When properly applied as overlapping sheets across garden beds, cardboard creates an impenetrable light barrier that smothers existing weeds and prevents new germination. The material's porous structure allows water and air to penetrate while maintaining consistent soil moisture levels, reducing irrigation needs by up to 40% during hot summer months. The decomposition process releases carbon-rich organic matter that feeds soil microorganisms and earthworms, creating a thriving underground ecosystem. However, cardboard's nitrogen-to-carbon ratio requires careful management to prevent temporary nitrogen immobilization that could stunt plant growth during the crucial establishment period. The key lies in layering nitrogen-rich materials like quality compost directly above the cardboard, creating a balanced decomposition environment that supports rather than competes with plant nutrition needs. Compost tea represents the dynamic, fast-acting competitor that delivers immediate biological and nutritional firepower directly to plant root zones. This liquid gold, brewed from high-quality compost through either active aeration or passive extraction methods, concentrates beneficial bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes into a form plants can immediately utilize. The brewing process multiplies microbial populations exponentially, creating a living solution that can contain millions of beneficial organisms per milliliter. The nutritional profile of properly brewed compost tea provides readily available macro and micronutrients in forms that plant roots can absorb within hours of application. Beyond nutrition, these microorganisms establish protective biofilms around root systems, suppressing pathogenic organisms and enhancing nutrient uptake efficiency. When applied as foliar sprays, compost tea delivers nutrients directly through leaf surfaces while inoculating the plant's surface with beneficial microbes that outcompete disease-causing organisms. The initial 4 weeks revealed fascinating patterns that challenged our preconceptions about organic growing methods. Plants in compost tea beds displayed immediate vigor, with tomato seedlings showing 20% greater stem diameter and noticeably darker, more lustrous foliage compared to control beds. The beans sprouted 3 days earlier in tea-treated soil and, lettuce leaves exhibited the characteristic deep green coloration associated with optimal nitrogen availability. Cardboard mulch beds told a different story during this early period, with plants appearing just a bit stressed as soil organisms adjusted to the carbon-rich environment. However, by week 3, a remarkable transformation began. Root development in cardboard beds proved significantly more extensive when we conducted careful excavation tests, with feeder roots extending 40% further than control plants. Soil temperature remained consistently 5 degrees cooler under cardboard during hot afternoons, and, honestly, moisture retention eliminated the need for daily watering that other beds required. The most striking observation during this period involved earthworm activity. Cardboard beds attracted massive populations of these soil engineers, with counts averaging 15 earthworms per square foot, compared to 3 per square foot in control areas. This biological activity created visible improvements in soil structure, with increased aggregation and porosity that promised long-term benefits for plant root development. Weekly measurements showed compost tea beds leading in above-ground growth metrics, while cardboard beds quietly built the underground infrastructure that would prove crucial in later weeks. The lesson emerged that different methods operate on different timescales, with immediate effects not necessarily predicting ultimate outcomes. The midpoint of our experiment marked a dramatic shift in growth patterns that validated the importance of sustained observation in garden experiments. While compost tea beds maintained their early lead in leaf production and overall green appearance, cardboard mulch beds began demonstrating superior resilience and sustained growth rates that ultimately proved decisive. During a particularly challenging heat wave in week 6, the differences became stark. Plants in cardboard beds maintained vigorous growth while tea-fed plants showed stress symptoms despite increased watering frequency. So, the final harvest data really revealed the complete story of our garden showdown. Tomato plants in the cardboard beds produced 28% greater fruit yield by weight, and the individual fruits actually averaged a larger size and had superior flavor profiles, which was confirmed by blind taste tests. Bean production favored the cardboard beds by 35%, and lettuce grown with cardboard mulch showed extended harvest periods with less bolting during the summer heat. Perhaps most significantly, soil health assessments conducted at the end of the experiment showed some pretty dramatic improvements in the cardboard beds. Organic matter content increased by 40%, soil compaction decreased substantially, and beneficial microbial diversity expanded beyond levels achieved through compost tea applications alone. The cardboard had really transformed from just a simple mulch into the foundation of a thriving soil ecosystem that promises continued benefits for future growing seasons. However, compost tea demonstrated clear advantages in specific applications. Plants receiving weekly tea applications showed superior disease resistance, with fungal issues appearing in control beds while tea-treated plants remained healthy throughout the experiment. The clear winner of our extreme growth experiment proves to be the combined approach that harnesses the strengths of both methods while minimizing their individual limitations. The most successful beds in our extended trials utilized cardboard mulch as the foundational soil building strategy, enhanced with strategic compost tea applications during critical growth periods. If this deep dive into extreme organic growing methods has inspired your gardening journey, please subscribe to The Humus Heritage for more groundbreaking experiments and practical insights that help you achieve the garden of your dreams. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who deserve to know these soil building secrets, and let us know in the comments how these methods work in your own garden adventures. Together, we're building a community of growers who understand that healthy soil creates healthy plants and healthy plants create healthy communities. Happy growing!